My name is TJ Loftin. The sector I'm in is land development.
How would you describe the importance of sustainability with the black communities?
Keeping the money in the community is always what we need to do. You know, it's very important because this is the future. This is how generational wealth is created. You know, when I start a business, I'm not just starting it for me, I'm starting it for the community, because I know I want my children to be able to work here. I know I want the neighbors' kids to be able to work here and keep this thing going. I don't want them to have to come home from college and try to figure out where they're going to go work at. In fact, I want to be able to pay for college, and I want to give them a list of things that I need them to learn. So that's how sustainability is created. We gotta make sure we maintain the infrastructure. What inspired me was I realized it was a calling on my life, because I was able to do some things that people said that wasn't even possible, and I heard a lot of things about that. I was the first person that ever done that. You know, nobody else was ever able to do something like that. You're the first person. So I realized it was a reason for that. And when I realized that, I started noticing a lot of people struggling around the country. And when I saw them struggling, I realized I had the answers to all their problems. So I had to turn around and get that out there so people will know I exist. Baba Sabi, Dr. Ancestor Dr. Sabi, was the one who first brought that to my attention. So that he really inspired me to do what I'm doing. I find that real estate ownership is a challenge because of the cost of housing. The reason why the cost of housing is so expensive is because they put sanctions on China and tariffs on all the rest of the countries. So now we have gigafactories moving into our communities, and they're pushing the cost of real estate up, creating a lot of mass homelessness in my community. So the steps that we have to take is, I tell people, instead of going out buying a $600,000 condo, why don't you let us as a community, let's find some black developers and let them build it. That creates a lot of jobs in our community. Put your children in the trades. I want them to realize that it's cheaper to build than it is to buy. We create jobs in our communities when we build our own homes. If I buy a piece of land and I go build me a 4,000 square foot house, I can employ over 100 people in 6 months. So a shared success story for me was in the automotive industry as well as the real estate. I had my buddy who, as a young guy, they taught me about stealing cars and all of that stuff like that. And I watched him go to prison. And when he came home from prison, I owned an automotive shop. And I employed him and taught him how to do business legally. And he bought his nephews, he bought his sons, his 2 sons, and 4 or 5 of his nephews. And now, 20 years later, those 8 and 10-year-old kids are running $1 million lowrider shops now. So I think that's a real success story, that when I come in there, they calling me, asking me all these questions. Okay, well, do you think I should buy a tow truck? What do you think I need to do now? I think you need to build your own self a building, buy a piece of land and build a building. So I enjoy that, seeing that they're 2nd and 3rd generation car builders. And it's like 6 nephews sitting there working side by side, running a business. I'm so excited about being here, meeting so many different people, speaking eloquently on topics that I didn't even think about. Things that bother me once I realize what's going on. I'm honored to be sitting next to someone that looks like me who's so well versed in these topics. It's absolutely amazing to me, and it makes me feel wonderful to know that when things start happening, I don't have to reach out to someone else's community. I can keep it in my community, and that's empowering.
2, 3.
BSS 2023.